Welcome everyone to the CueSoc Snooker competition for 2019 trimester 3. Just trying to fix the mic here. Okay, we should be good. So, as always, I'm Harris. For this competition, we've definitely got a lighter turnout. We only had about 16 participants today. Snooker at City Heroes and in CueSoc, or in terms of playing at CueSoc, it's quite a niche discipline as well. So, but anyway, for your plays today, we have Raycole Dai, he actually made an appearance in the 9-ball video that we previously posted. Raycole is a 4th year at UNSW, studying computer science, and as I said in the last video, he's due to graduate soon, due to graduate at the end of this year. And we have Choy, who is a 4th year pharmacy student at USYD. So yeah, as I was saying, snooker is quite a niche sport at City Heroes. We only have 4 tables here at City Heroes compared to, the 30-odd pool tables that we have. Yeah. And this will be a race to 2, I think, with 15 reds. But before this match, so in all the matches leading up the quarters, the semis, and all the normal rounds, we had a race to 2, but it was only 6 reds. So what that meant is, in all the previous matches here today, took out half of the red balls when we're breaking, and then the players just play from there and break normally. So in terms of snooker rules, I'm pretty inept, but I do have some help here today from none other than Phuc Nguyen, who will introduce himself now.
Hi, I'm Phuc Nguyen. I'm currently 4th year in engineering, and yeah.
Yes, excellent. And Phuc actually competed today as well in the snooker comp. Who did you get knocked out by, Phuc?
By William Wu.
William Wu? Okay, William's actually practicing on a table behind us at the moment. But yeah, Phuc's going to be here helping me with the scoring, because I think by all means I'm a pretty big pool player, but my commentary and game knowledge skills of snooker is pretty poor. So yeah, you're going to have some help from Phuc, and also we've got Clayton Small there on the side, who's going to help us with respotting the balls. And yeah, definitely an odd one for me to be commentating on. This competition format and this game mode, because again, I don't have the experience, and tied in with those other elements as well, that not many people play this competition and not many people play this CueSport discipline, at least in Sydney, in the Sydney CueSport scene, I should say. But yeah, as we see here, I think especially at this level, where obviously we're not watching professionals play snooker, but you'll see a lot of the exchanges in this match, or a lot of the the turns, we'll say, at the table from each player will be, I think, a lot of safeties is what I'm going to assess, just since I think at the CueSoc level, playing in snooker particularly, because the pockets and the balls are a lot smaller, a lot tighter than American pool tables. So you'll find that it's a lot harder to string balls together to make more than a few ball runs, just because potting is so hard. So I think the key for Raycole and Derek here, if they want to make substantial leads, or stack some points up, is to just grab color red. So the way the scoring system works is each red ball on the table is worth 1 point, and then you'll see each of the colored balls, so the blue, the green, the yellow, etc. They all have different point values. And pretty much all you're trying to do is, at any given time, you're just trying to pot a red, and then the shot immediately after you pot a red, you're going to have to go for a color. So yeah, to follow up every red with a color, and then each ball you pot, whether it's a color or a red, has an assigned point value, as I said. Phuc, can you tell me the point values of the balls, because I have no idea.
So obviously you have your reds, which are worth 1 point, then moves on to your yellow, which is worth 2 points, your green, which is worth 3 points, your brown worth 4 points, your blue is worth 5 points, your pink is worth 6 points, and your last one would be your black ball, which is 7 points.
Right, so, you know, we always hear about 147 maximum breaks in snooker, in high-level snooker, right? But I think with a lot of the matches today, the highest break that could be achieved if you were going red, black, which means you'd get the maximum score, right? The maximum amount of points on the table was how much? 70? 74 or something like that?
Yeah.
So it's 74 for the maximum break. But here, because we're playing 15 reds in the final, I don't think we'll see a 147, but definitely there's a much higher cap for the amount of points that you can score. Also worth noting, there's no rail after contact rule in snooker, so you can sort of just roll up to a ball and no ball has to contact a rail for it to be a legal hit. You can sort of just roll up and play safeties and stuff like that, and that's completely legal. One sort of different aspect of CueSoc rules that we play is on the foul and a miss rule, which in normal snooker is tied to this concept of free balls and awarding points to the opponent, which I won't go into detail, but in CueSoc rules, or the format that we've been using for today, if you miss completely, as in you miss your target ball, then we call a foul and a miss, but all it is you just award 4 points to your opponent, and yeah, that's it. The ball would just be played from where it is. There's no ball in hand or anything like that. I think if we scratch, is a ball in hand?
No, it's not.
It's not?
So if he scratches ball in hand, so if someone scratches the cue ball on the pockets, then the cue ball is positioned back onto the D section. But also, talking about fouls with misses, if they do miss a ball and they do hit a coloured ball instead of a red ball, for example, if they hit a black ball instead of a red ball, then it becomes 7 points to the other person.
Again, I'll try my best for you guys, but Phuc's here to help me. But definitely I'm not a snooker player by any means. I think I find that one of the most interesting parts about snooker is you see a big divide between snooker players and pool players in their stance and their form. Snooker players in particular, I think they have a lot of discipline in regards to stance. They're very uniform in the way they step into the shot, the way they line up the shot and have a pre-shot routine. That's something that you maybe don't see in pool as often. But I think if you look at Derek and Raycole play here, they both have very set, very uniform pre-shot routines. You'll notice they try to keep everything consistent and do everything the same. And I think that's actually probably a result of the fact that at the high level of snooker, we're talking professional play. That's sort of the meta, if you like. That's how sort of people get taught, or how people learn snooker, is to be very uniform, to have that uniform pre-shot routine, and to keep everything very organized and very solid. So a nice little safety by Derek there, leaving the cue ball by the ball cushion. That's definitely one of the shots you'll see a lot come up in this game, I think, where players will just try to leave the cue ball up against the rail on the ball cushion, which is where Raycole's standing at now at the end of the camera. Reason why they're so effective is it's very hard to cue off the rail into a long pot in snooker, just physically, in the physical aspect, and also leaving distance between your object ball and your cue ball for your opponent is also a really effective form of safety. Whereas, if we do that in pool, I'd say there's a higher chance that a player can, pot a ball. But again, just reiterating the fact that at this level, playing those kind of safeties and, playing distance between balls is very important and can get you can have a lot of good outcomes for you. Again, we've got another similar shot where Derek's been able to leave the cue ball sort of up against the cushion, and Raycole's up for the tough shot. So, let me just get up today's draw for you guys. Again, we only have 4 tables for snooker at City Heroes, so we had a maximum of 16 participants today for the competition. But you know, in saying that, I'd say the CueSoc members that participate in snooker comp, just from watching them, I'd say they're some of the most dedicated of our member base, just because, you know, they love this game type, this discipline, and we only have one competition dedicated towards it for the whole trimester or for the whole session. I think we've held 2 this year, so this would be the second, but definitely, again, one of those niche tournaments that the players really enjoy when they do come here. And also to note, even if I'm not getting the scoring correct, you guys will see in post that all the scoring is correct at the bottom of the scoreboard. So I guess we shouldn't have to worry too much about me being snooker inept. You'll see Raycole take on the black here. Pretty nice leave there. Left him in the pack. Let me just bring up the bracket here. So again, we only had 4 rounds of competition. So looking at Derek's draw, he played Oliver Chang in the first round. He was actually the 9-ball champion from the last video, from our 9-ball competition this trimester. So a 2-1 victory there for Derek. Derek went on to play Matthew Mack, another pretty big player in the pool side of CueSoc things. But I think in snooker, I was actually watching Matt Mack's match earlier today, and as much as Matt Mack has the potting, I think Derek's knowledge of the snooker table definitely prevailed there. So a 2-0 victory for him, and then he went on to play William Wu, who also had a great tournament today, who made it to the semis. But Derek, another 2-0 win there, and now he's playing Raycole. Looking at Raycole's draw, he played Thomas Lamb at 2-0 in the first round. He played Clayton in the second round, who's your ball spotting referee today. Another 2-0 victory, and Raycole actually played Josh Hong in the round after that with another crushing 2-0 defeat. So definitely Raycole's playing really well. I think he's actually participated in every snooker competition since he's joined CueSoc. For those that don't know, I did go over this in the last video. I was really stressing the fact that because Raycole's going to graduate at the end of this year, not just me, but a lot of the team, a lot of the people in CueSoc, we're really rooting for Raycole to try and snag a singles title for himself. Because he's won a lot of team events, but it's become a bit of a meme at this point, where every time Raycole gets into a final, he's always been defeated by another player. So again, we'll see how it goes against Derek, but I'm rooting for Raycole here. Nothing against Derek. Derek's also a fantastic player, but again, the whole team's keen to see this guy finally take a title for himself. So Raycole's got a nice point lead here, and again, I think that at this level, if Raycole can keep leaving shots like this, where Derek's sort of up against the rail with a bit of distance to the red, leave some hard pots, it's probably a key to success. You probably won't see a lot of consecutive ball runs. You'll see mostly just, red color. And I'm not sure if that's touching ball.
It's touching the ball.
Is it touching?
It's actually touching the ball.
So in snooker, if the cue ball is, I think Clayton's... Oh, it's not? Okay, Clayton's just confirmed that it's not touching ball. But I'll post to you, in that instance, if the cue ball did roll up there and freeze to the red ball, so if it couldn't move and it was directly touching it, then Raycole would be allowed to play a touching ball shot, which would mean that he could hit the cue ball in any direction away from the red, and it would count as a legal shot, he wouldn't have to hit another red again. That's just another nuance of snooker. And I think the touching ball rule comes up a lot in professional play as well. And I think Raycole went for a double there, but to no avail. I think Derek, if he wants to take on this red in the bottom right here, he's got a nice big pocket with the 8, but he just wants to be careful that if he misses, he doesn't open up the reds too much. You know, this is a very high risk shot. I think he opted for a bank there,
and he's got it. Ooh, he's got it. Just got it.
Pretty nice fluke there. So again, in snooker, reiterating the rules, if you fluke a ball, as long as it's the correct ball, the legal ball that you're hitting, if you hit it in any pocket other than your intended pocket, it still counts. It's a little bit like 9-ball. So that'll be 1 point for Derek, and he's on the board for this game. And I think Raycole has this red over the side pocket here. Or the middle pocket, I should say, in snooker terms. The middle pocket. And he's got the black over the pocket on the bottom right there of your screen as well. So should be a nice. How many points is it? 7.
For
the black.
Yep, 7.
7. Though I think he's probably lining up this brown.
The middle run. So basically, he's going to go up and down. So it looks like Raycole accidentally miscued there. So I think he was trying to go for the middle run where he goes back and forth with red and color. But it looks like he's miscued this one. So definitely a harder shot for Raycole now that the cue ball is on the rail. But we'll see what he does now. Not a bad leave there. Again, you know, this situation comes up where Derek is sort of on the rail and plays with a difficult shot on a red. Really nice safety there, actually. Derek got a nice stun on the ball and just sort of left it behind that pack. And even though Raycole can sort of hit these reds, Derek hasn't really left an offensive option for Raycole. Okay, you can see that red. Going for the long pod there. And actually pretty good opportunity for Derek. The red's right over the pocket and he can get easy position for the black. So let's see. Yeah, I think it was definitely difficult queuing off the rail there again. And we also see that the yellow ball down there is sort of frozen to a red ball. So I think it's definitely key of this rack might be when that yellow ball gets knocked out or when it gets potted, since it has to be respotted up near where this brown ball is. And it's sort of, you know, tying up that red to prevent any player from cleaning up here. I think something to definitely note is that this whole tournament, Derek's been playing on the up tables. So they're currently playing on a star table, which is the pockets are a lot tighter, and it looks like Raycole's very adjusted to it since he's played on it at least once now. So I think Derek might have to adjust his form a bit to make sure that he accounts for the smallness of the pocket.
Yeah, definitely the star table here is, if you just come to City Heroes normally, the star table is more expensive to play on just because it's higher quality equipment than the other 3 snooker tables we have here. You'll notice that the other 3 snooker tables actually have, some of them have rips in the cloth, some of them have, little deformities, but the star table is probably in the best condition out of all of them. And it's also got signatures on it from, who is it? Which players? There's 2 signatures actually on the side of this table from 2 famous. I think it's Neil Robertson and another player. But star tables are actually the equipment used at pro level snooker. So it's quite cool to have access to this sort of stuff here at City Heroes. And it was a nice attempt there from Derek. I think he was wanting to sort of bump the green out there or bump the red out, just because it was kind of both balls were kind of in an awkward spot there. But again, that black had been sitting over the pocket for quite a while. So nice of Derek to be able to clean that up. Some easy points there. And I think he's on for this red in the middle. Great shot. Do you mind checking the recording just to see if it's recording? You can just see it from the reflection. So Raycole back at the table, and the pink's blocking the bottom left pocket here for any reds. So I think we'll probably see him take this red in the bottom right. He's just got to predict how this cue ball's going to cannon off, those other 3 reds just sort of by the black spot or the pink spot there. Actually, interesting note. I think one of the traditions of CueSoc snooker comp, at least, has since the competition started to run, is that a lot of the players here will dress up. They'll sort of put on snooker attire, if you will. So you'll notice that at pro level snooker, a lot of the players, they'll wear, they'll wear suits, they'll wear vests, they'll wear really formal attire. Like bow ties and stuff like that, and that's something that some of the players have emulated over the years in CueSoc snooker comps. You'll see it in some of the photo albums as well. But just wanted to bring that up because Raycole's actually one of those people. Every comp he's dressed up to emulate that that high level play. So Raycole's got his bow tie and his grey vest on today. Phuc actually dressed up with a vest today as well, and I think a couple of others made an attempt to be formal as well. So it's quite nice. It adds to the atmosphere of the competition for everyone, not just the viewers but the players as well. It puts you in a very, snooker mindset. It's quite cool. And I think we're progressing to the stage of the rack where the reds have been opened up a little more than, early on, and a lot more chances for these players to pot some reds and get on colours. And a really nice two-way there from Derek. He's unfortunate to leave the red sort of hanging over the pocket there, but I think he actually played that shot really nice. He wanted to come up back near the black, just sort of with an element of safety in mind. And I think Raycole's got this red in the middle, so unfortunate that the yellow hasn't blocked it. And a really nice shot there. And a nice little positional shot there. He played top left to come off the bottom rail, side rail, and now he's in position for this red over the pocket if he wants it. You'll notice in snooker as well a lot more rest play than in regular pool, just because the table's so big. Just narrowly missing there. But yeah, definitely. There's an emphasis on rest play in snooker, just because you're required to be more proficient with it, because you'll be using it so much more often than in normal pool. Sometimes in pool you'll usually use an extension on your butt, or you'll just stretch for the ball, or play behind your back, whatever, just because the table's so small and you're able to do that. But I think rest play, a good rest player is a sign of a disciplined snooker player, just because it's one of those factors of the game. I'll say one of those aspects of the game that where some players are really good rest players, some players are not such good rest players. So unlucky from Derek there again. He's left the red over the pocket, up near the bottom end of the table. But Raycole might consider this red to the middle and sort of clean up these reds at the top of the table, sort of going color to red, and then moving for that red at the bottom. Again, you'll notice a lot more misses in snooker, just because these pockets are so tight compared to pool tables. But if anything, that makes you more disciplined. It makes you concentrate a lot more on the pot. It's way harder to cheat pockets to either side in snooker as well. And I actually fancy Raycole taking on the 2-ball pot here. 2-ball plant, I should say. The angle's laying a little funny, but I think it's the only shot he's got here, unless he wants to play a safety. But the reason why a safety is so hard is because we've actually got a red up at the color end of the table, as well as up where the black spot is. So no matter where you go with the safe, it's going to be, your opponent will have a shot, essentially. But actually a pretty smart shot there. A nice little stun shot off the rail to leave Derek only a look at this unpottable red. Oh, so he potted the blue. So what does that mean?
So if Derek's potted the blue, so that means automatically Raycole gets 5 points. But like Harris said before, if he did miss, then unfortunately Raycole can't pick up the cue ball and move it wherever he wants. So at this rate, Raycole will take it where it is currently positioned.
Again, another really nice two-way there. Raycole electing for the double, but at the same time leaving the cue ball up behind the pink and the yellow, so that if he did miss, he wouldn't leave sort of an easy shot for Derek. And yeah, good chance to get the green out of the pocket, out of near where the pocket is, so it can get respotted. But now he's a little funny, because you'll notice that these players will play a lot of two-way shots. There's a lot of the concept of playing a shot and getting back to bulk, or getting back to the other end of the table, just in case you do miss, is like really big in snooker. You find a lot of players do it. It's a pretty big part of the game, pretty big part of learning how to play shots as well, is finding a direction or a path back to the other end of the table.
It's not 39. No, it's like at the end.
just a roll forward here on the blue for Derek, or maybe stun it and play for this red just below the brown. Okay, elected to go forward. Really nice shot there. And he's got great position on this red just above the brown actually. A little bit of a stretch. I think definitely the stretched queuing there was a big factor for Derek on that shot. I think had he been queuing that normally, or had he been a little bit further towards the rail where he could queue properly, he probably would have gotten that in 9 times out of 10. So another chance for Raycole. And yeah, leaving it over the side for Derek. I like trying to clear the yellow here, trying to get it back in its spot as soon as possible, just because it makes the later parts here run a lot easier. At this point, we've got Derek sort of trailing by, about 15 points, about 10 to 15 points. You guys will see the live scoreboard, obviously, but I think if Derek can, make a few more successful shots off these last 4 reds that are remaining on the table, then once we get to the colors, he'll have a pretty good chance at contesting Raycole's point lead. Raycole just reassessing this shot here. I think he was just wondering whether he could hold for the pink or sort of draw it out and come off the rail and back for the pink. You'll notice too that because the black's on the rail at the bottom here, it's actually really hard to pot in either pocket. So I think when the players get to the colors, if they don't break out the black early, that'll be a big key of winning the frame. Just because if you're at the table and you have an opportunity to pot the black, you probably want to get it out of there. Unless you're the one that's playing from behind, like in Derek's case, where he'd obviously love like a really nice safety here or a foul from Raycole to make up that point lead. Another nice shot there from Raycole. Getting these, these stun distance safeties pretty consistently. Wow, really close there. It was a nice attempt at a long pot from Derek. I think all Derek has to focus on is the pot here, since if he makes this red, he's pretty much on a color anywhere in the middle of the table. All those balls are wide open and they go into a majority of the pockets. Unlucky there. And we'll see if Raycole wants to take on this red, sort of on the rail. This is on snooker pockets, definitely. this is an exceptionally hard shot, just because if the red comes a little bit off the rail, it won't pot, just like that. The ball sort of won't stick as much to the rail as it does in pool. And yeah, again, as a result of tighter pockets, the pot is a lot harder. You can't cheat pockets nearly as easily as you can in normal pool. Tap on the table there from Raycole. Really effective shot there from Derek. All he wants to do is, tie up balls. I think he tried to play that red, so that fell in sort of close to that other red, and in sort of a not potable position, just because Derek wants to sort of make up the point gap here. So again, no really offensive shot for Derek unless he takes his red into the side or the middle. But I expect him to just sort of stun this and leave the cue ball down here. Play a sort of two-way. Yeah, that's a really nice shot actually. And since this red is so close against the rail, hard shot for Raycole if he wants to take it on. A lot of a much slower paced sort of final we have here for you today, in contrast to a lot of the other comps that we host. And I think that's a pretty good reflection of snooker itself as well. A lot more slow paced at times, a lot more tactical, if you will, at times as well, especially in safety battles. Players will take a lot more time to think. Oh, and I think Raycole sort of mispredicting the in-off there, or the angle off the red. So that'll be 4 points for Derek, I think?
Yep.
Yeah, 4 points for Derek. And he'll take the cue ball from the D. Is that off the jaw?
Yep.
So I think Derek was trying to find a path back to the bulk end of the table, but he's just caught the jaw there in the middle of the table, so cue ball sort of come out in a really nice position for Raycole. As we say that, another miss, so another pretty good chance of Derek to get some points back. He's definitely, since the start of the frame, or since his deficit, Derek's been making a few points back here and there. And I'm not sure what his angle is on any of these colors, but we'll probably see him take on the green on here, green or the blue. Play a little bit of a two-way. Oh, okay, he had the pink in the middle. And actually really nice positional effort there as well, since he found a path around that green, or to avoid that green, to come back down for those other two reds at the bottom of the table. Derek also, I think, actually a previous winner of a team event. I think it was CueSoc League, 8-Ball League Season 6. He was representing the Phuc Choy boys. And I know that because I played that season, actually. I remember them winning with Josh and Garlo, I think. But yeah, Derek's no stranger to finals. What's up?
Do you want score?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't think so. And really nice shot there from Raycole. And actually, I'm joined by the man himself, Grant Lian. He's made a late appearance, but he's here, and he's ready to commentate.
Hi everyone, glad to be here. Very honoured to be able to commentate for the first time.
Yeah, it's nice to have you here, Grant. So, for those that don't know, Grant's an experienced CueSoc player, an older CueSoc player as well, and he's been in a bunch of finals videos. And Grant's always wanted to commentate as well. That's always been an interest of his. So now he's here to fill the gap in snooker knowledge that I've been lacking for the past hour. But yeah, no, it's nice to have you, Grant.
Thank you, Harris.
So yeah, the scores here, and this is the first round. Race to 15 rounds. Grant, have you played in snooker comp before?
Yes, I think last year is my last one.
Okay. So you didn't play the one that was earlier this year? I think we had one in trimester 1. Oh, you didn't compete in that?
Can't remember when I played actually,
Oh, okay.
but
That's fine.
yeah, I know I won it. I think that's what matters.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good then. So I guess like my question to you is, because you've had experience from the finals from regular pool and from snooker. What's the biggest difference between at the CueSoc level as well? What's the biggest difference between snooker comp and normal comps for the player?
Yeah, that's a very good point, I think. And I think the main difference is that, especially playing on the match table in snooker as well, that's where the finals played. As you can see, it's a very nice table. But that just makes it even harder as well. The pocket is smaller and the table is so big. So I guess tactic becomes very important, just knowing what shots to play. And yeah, I think there's a lot more tactic involved, and sometimes just going for the highest reward shots, and sometimes in pool if you risk a shot you might clear the table, but then in snooker you might risk a shot but then you don't get much reward for it.
Yeah.
So knowing what shot to risk I think is important, and also just having the patience is really important. I think especially in the late game like this right now, you might not be putting a ball for a while, and just be able to have the patience to grab the chance when it comes is also very important, I find. And with these CueSoc games, what you also see is that towards the end, the scores are usually pretty close. You rarely see we finishing before all the rest are gone. So it very often will be a long game, especially towards the end with only the colors remaining. And when the chance comes, do you still have the form to be able to finish it off?
Yeah, right.
After all the safety plays and everything? I think that's a big component of it.
Yeah, definitely. I think historically, for every snooker comp final, it's always been a really long one. We've always gone overtime with this competition just because, not that the match drags out, it's just that it happens to be that, you'll always fall in a tactical battle or some sort of safety battle on the last few colors at this level. So yeah, pretty interesting how it's a lot, I was saying this before, but it's a lot slower paced than our other finals.
Yeah, and to be able to make it into the final, both players are definitely at a very good level, so you rarely see that one player will just blow out when the rest are still there. So most of the games will go pretty close.
Did you end up racing Jason?
He's having another race, so I'll just be here for a bit.
Hey, you can jump in it now.
Sounds good.
So yeah, I was also saying at the start of the match, Grant, that like my game knowledge in particular are really inept at snooker. So if you can you remind us what order, or remind me what order you have to take these balls in?
Yep, so yellow first, and then green, brown, blue, pink, and black.
And they're not getting respotted at this point, that's correct, right?
No, it's not respotted now. But yeah, as you can see now, it's both players are going at each other in terms of safety, and yeah, the chances really don't come often, and when they do come, it's hard to be able to take it when you've been playing so many safety shots.
Yeah, I think especially because even if you leave the ball over the pocket, like on these type pockets, it doesn't mean you're going to pot it. Whereas we'd say in pool, like there's a lot of hangers and a lot of gimmies, where if the ball lands over the pocket, it's pretty easy for the other player to pot. But you'll find that, like that shot was an example, right, where Derek had the yellow, even the yellow was pretty close to the pocket, but because of the tight pocket, it was pretty hard for him to pot actually, quite a hard shot, and to get position on the other colours.
Yeah, especially that we can see he was trying to get position on the green, so hit it a bit harder, and yeah, it's definitely a harder shot than it looks. So as you can see here, Derek has another chance on the yellow, but again, on the bridge as well, to be able to come back for the green is going to be pretty difficult as well.
A bit of a miscue there from Derek, but definitely not the worst leave. So Raycole's like pretty close to his yellow, but he's not really in a state to pot it. So I'd expect, a distance safety here. I'd expect him to leave the yellow sort of up at the balk end and maybe leave the cue ball down here if he can find a path where the yellow doesn't, hit any other balls. I think definitely off the side rail and sort of back behind the green-brown is a nice shot. Or he might play it the other way actually, on the other side of the yellow. Yeah, I think he tried to play the cue ball in that direction, but again, he had to sort of predict where it was going to bounce off the rail and where it was going to hit that 8. Getting past the 8 was the key there so that he could get back to bulk. So another chance with Derek.
Again, using the bridge.
And another miscue.
Especially if coming from a pool background, I think those bridge shots are especially hard.
Yeah, I was saying before that as a discipline, right, I think the aspect of rest play is so much more emphasized in snooker than it is in pool.
Raycole has a decent chance here to bounce off one cushion and be on the green as well.
Really great shot there. And perfect position as well. Came to the other side of the green. And he's got a little angle to sort of stun over for the brown. little funny here, because I don't think the blue passes by that 8.
But we have to go off one cushion to land on the other side. Those shots in the middle pocket on a snooker table is always very difficult.
Pretty nice speed there from Raycole. Had he potted that brown ball, he would have had a nice position on the 2. Not the 2. the blue ball. Too used to the pool balls, man. Yeah, I think often I'll associate the color of the ball with the number, so I'll sort of just say the number. But obviously we don't have numbers in snooker, we only have the color. It's pretty... Yeah, I apologize for making that association, but I'll try not to do that. Oh, what a shot.
That was a great shot by Raycole.
Really nice there. He was able to stick Derek up right against the 2. The blue, not the 2. Probably the best safety shot we've seen all game, actually. That was really nice. Played the speed well, judged the the kick well as well, to roll up just behind the 2. Really great shot there. Really good hit from Derek there.
Great escape. Well controlled in terms of power as well. Very smoothly struck by Raycole and on the blue as well.
Really authoritative stroke there. That was really nice to see.
Great shot by Raycole, and now he's pretty much secured the frame.
Oh yeah, true, because he needs one snooker, right? So at this point, I think because we're only on the pink and the black, sort of as a formality, Derek would concede the frame, but again, like you'll see that Raycole fluked the pink anyway.
Nail on the coffin there.
Yeah. So I think quick break here for the players. They'll take a toilet break. How long was that frame? So yeah, one frame taking just under an hour, I should say. And actually, I'm gonna go take a toilet break as well. So I'll be back with you guys in a minute. So I think Grant's dropped out there to go race someone. But definitely, yeah. Grant has a lot more snooker knowledge than I do, so it was nice for him to drop in. And he told me that if he finishes his race before this finishes, he'll definitely drop in again. So while we're sort of waiting, I think Derek's gone to the toilet actually. So while we're waiting, Derek's back. Okay, we're good to go. But while we have a sort of little break here, we'll thank the CueSoc sponsors. So we have City Heroes, obviously. As I said before, four big snooker tables up the back here, which you can miss if you if you don't look up the very back of the room. But yeah, we host all our events at City Heroes. Mikarin is a restaurant sponsor for us. We're going to go eat lunch there after this, I think. That's quite a traditional thing after CueSoc events. And also ARC UNSW, since CueSoc was founded as a ARC UNSW club. And yeah. And as always, I'm Harris, your in-house CueSoc commentator. I actually got Victor Bian here.
Hello.
Another CueSoc member. You want to say hi, Victor?
Hi guys. Just popping in for a bit.
Victor, did you compete in Snooker comp today?
Sorry?
Did you compete in Snooker comp today?
No, I didn't. Actually, I had work.
Oh.
Just kind of a disappointment because snooker comp's usually like one of the ones I look forward to the
Yeah,
most.
right.
Yeah.
That's unlucky, man.
I was looking forward to cosplaying as Ronnie with Raycole. Derek Pai's in a very nice spot there, but it's gotten stuck into the pack.
So I think touching ball for Derek, so he can just play this away without too much concern. Is Derek on one? Okay, I think a foul there from Derek. So that'll be 4 points for Raycole.
That's pretty surprising. Especially when you're that close to the Reds. Raycole hasn't played the greatest of safeties.
He's on. You gotta speak like this.
Oh, yeah.
Tap on the table from Raycole there, acknowledging the good speed from Derek. I think he wanted to put the cue ball right up behind that green. He's left a shot on, but not an easy one. Oh wow, great long pot.
What a point.
Great long pot, fair. I think that's the first long pot we've seen actually from the Balkan Balkan of the table. But yeah, great effort there from Raycole. And I'll expect him to take the black here, but he probably won't go for a breakout shot. I think that's a very risky sort of decision to go for here. Or is he? No, he'll just sort of, try and float that black in. And then if he misses like it did, just sort of leave a sort of containing shot for Derek.
So it looks like the start of a very defensive frame.
Yeah, no doubt. Probably just three rails out here, or back to bulk. Separated the Reds a little, but
It's got very good speed.
yeah, very nice speed here to come up right behind the green.
I don't think Raycole can see any of the loose reds, so he's probably going to play off the leftmost red. Or maybe he can't see any of the reds at all and he's going to have to play cushion first. So I think Raycole's looking at the shot to hit the bulk cushion first. It's going to go off 3 or 4 cushions and just land touching on a red. The advantage with snooker over pool is that if the red's left on a cushion, it's often safe, which isn't the same case for pool due to the way that the pockets are cut. Okay, so that hasn't worked out too poorly for Raycole, but what he was trying to do was catch a thin edge off the red on the way back and hopefully land his cue ball back into bulk. But he's got the red a bit too thick, so now he's left the cue ball in the middle of the table. But there's no evident positional shot for this next red.
So yeah, I think as a result of Derek's sort of back to bulk safety before. We've seen the reds are definitely much more dispersed now. So I think that was the turning point of the rack. Really nice shot there from Raycole.
It's actually a great shot.
Yeah, he was on the rail there, and the red was on the rail too. But he was able to bobble that in, so that was quite nice. And he's on the black as well. So we'll see what he can do with this run. He's also got a lot of reds down there in the sort of near the pink spot and the black spot. So definitely a good opportunity here to rack up some points.
This could be frame winning if Raycole plays his balls right. I think he's gone a bit too far there with his shot. I think he wanted to land near one of the reds, either just above the black spot or onto the right cushion of the table, but he's gone a bit far, so he's got not a very nice angle. Might be looking to just play this red safe.
Sure, that's fine. 7.
Yeah, so very safe shot there. Derek can't really do much when the cue ball's on the ball cushion like that, especially when there's no red that's really nice out in the open.
Can you see what's score Raycole's?
13.
Okay. And Derek's not on.
Went for the very difficult red. But even if he did pot that, he was leaving the cue ball to go run loose, so he was really playing with percentages down there. And Raycole's again going to leave him back onto the cushion. So it's up to Derek to play a nice safety shot to turn the tables back into his favour. Right now, Raycole definitely has control of the frame. I think he's fallen a bit short there. I think he wanted the white ball to travel a bit further up so that that red would be covering the rest of the reds.
Yeah, I think he wanted to stick to that red.
I'm not sure if Raycole has a straight enough angle to just follow this through and stay on the black. He's looking to draw this one back for the blue or pink, I think. Yeah, and as a result of that tough positional shot, he's let his cue run astray and he's completely missed the pot. So a big opportunity now for Derek to take it. Oh, but he's missed a fairly straightforward pot.
Yeah, I think on the rail there again, combined with the pressure of Raycole being 1-0 up, he's already on the hill. So, wow, really close attempt there. I think Derek's just looking for a good opportunity to run some balls, get that confidence back.
Yeah, definitely agree with what you said there, Harris. Raycole definitely looks to be the more focused of the two at the moment.
Also got Josh Hong here dropping in. Josh, did you want to say a few words? I know you competed in Snooker Comp today. Here he is.
Hello boys, nice to be back here. Another commentary stint it is. I'm not sure about the scores and everything. Could you just update me on the scores and the situation?
It's 13-1, I think, at the moment.
First frame or?
This is second frame, 1-0 to Raycole. Sorry guys, this guy's been MIA, just doing his own thing, so he has no idea what's happening right now.
I think he's been to the gym recently.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see. Oh, okay, so nice chance for Derek here. He's got a red over the pocket. 2. Close on that.
I think he's tried to use that bunch of reds to hold the cue ball, but he's not hit it full enough. But quite a nice shot on the pink.
I think a little misjudged there from Derek. I think there was enough room for that red to pass the other red. I don't think he was playing the 2-ball plant. He just caught, a little side of the red that was blocking half the pocket. And unfortunately, he's left his red up the top here for Raycole. So let's see how Raycole's rest play is for this shot.
That's a great
Very
shot.
nice stroke there. And good position for the brown as well.
Looks to be following this one 2 cushions. He's landed on the red at the top of the black, but I think it was a bit too straight there. He's going to get enough pace onto the keyboard.
Just gonna check it out.
Not a safety shot from Raycole. Derek's played a great shot there, just managing to miss the red on the cushion. But he had very nice line, very nice pace. I think Raycole might be forced to play a kick off this red if he can't see it fall. He could see enough of it to screw back, so that's quite alright, but he has left a red that is potable into the left middle.
Hey guys, I'm back again. Josh is here, and he's hung up this red to the middle pocket. We're trying to hold for the blue, or the pink down there. Confidently struck. And he has held for both pink and the blue. He's come down for the red just above the black, and I'm not sure what kind of angle he has, but I think he can hold for the black as well, if not the pink to the middle pocket.
I don't think he's stroked through the ball very well there. He's left a very tough pot on the pink now, so he'll do well to continue to break from here.
Yeah, I agree with you, Victor, and he will do well to pot this at all. Yep, it's always a difficult task to hold on for another red. And Raycole has a chance. And he's in and around the black spot as well, so who knows how many he'll make here. Probably screw around and hope for the black. The stun. Apologies. I'm currently unable to same angle as all the viewers out there. So another tricky red along the top cushion. Actually played Raycole in the semi-finals. He beat me 2-0 and deservedly so. He played some great snooker. But what I did notice is that his game continued to improve throughout the game, not just from the beginning and dropping off. Actually, he went from strength to strength during the 2 frames, and in the end beat me by a comfortable margin. And yes, really forced the issue there. But a reprieve for Derek. He's got a couple of options here.
Raycole's got a very nice opportunity here to just sink this one in and float down for the black.
He's just got to make sure he doesn't travel too far. Probably on and off the top cushion is not such a bad idea as well. Yeah, that was well struck. He is close to the side cushion as well. But, dropping this in dead weight and to be on another red along the top cushion again. Oh yeah, it's always tricky from the side cushion. Never easy when you don't have too much queuing space around there. And Derek again comes to the table. So it's tough to the middle pocket again, and now Raycole has a couple of options here. The black's still along the top cushion, but the pink's there. What's he playing here? Yep, just a safety to the ball carrier. It's not very good. He has left the red to the middle, but as I always said, this is the final frame. It's never easy, these ones.
Looks to be screwing it back to play a two-way shot.
Just caught the outer draw there, and now Raycole is faced with a couple of opportunities here.
Yeah, Raycole doesn't fancy that long pot along the top left table at all.
Yeah, it's always difficult on the side cushions. You never know where they're going to go when they touch the side. They run along. Just the up and down safety from Raycole. He has caught the green with the red, so I should say, but still okay. Just push that red over the pink, so the pink now doesn't go in the same pocket. Eyeing up for some pot here. He's starting to screw off the black along the top cushion. Well,
I noticed Raycole's actually thrusting his body quite a bit into his cue action, which could be explaining why some of the shots which require a bit more accurate cueing aren't quite making it into the pockets.
Yep, and now he's left the red. Derek can hold for the black after he screws off. good chance this. And as we see once again in this frame, nothing is a gimme, especially this black along the top cushion. Just screw out to hold for one of the colours. Yep, it's well played. Didn't hit it too hard, although he can cut the red in.
I think this is quite a nice shot because he's got an opportunity to knock out this red on the cushion. Yeah, just as I said. And he's knocked out the pink as well. That's a great shot.
Yeah, that's a great shot there. He is going to be slightly hampered by the red just behind the cue ball, but he's okay. The black goes. That's well hampered. He's got to be careful not to catch the red. A really easy shot when you're hampered. And he has resorted to a safety.
I think Raycole actually wanted the draw to sort of take off that bottom rail there. He wanted to come behind the black, but he ended up a little short, and he sort of left this long red on for Derek.
Big shot this. So the pot wasn't made, but he was a two-way shot. And now he has left the red over the cushion. No gimme, but Raycole can knock this in. Possibly hold for black or pink.
Yeah, Raycole's really moving his body on that cue action. It's really causing him to miss a few crucial pots that could easily win the frame for him.
And especially in a tough game like Snooker, it's so important to be able to cue correctly, to check your stance and check your cue action. Every movement counts. Must have thought the red could avoid kissing the green, but it hasn't. Raycole not fancying the long pot, and might play the double here or the safety. Yep. Now there is a red to the middle pocket, but as far as we know, never a gimme. Especially under pressure. If Derek can, by any chance, knock this red in, be a great shot, but he hasn't gone for it. Probably chosen to play a containing safety.
So Derek's actually going for that pot knowing that if he misses it, the red's going to float back up to the bulk end of the table. And that's really good for him because Raycole doesn't have a very obvious safety here because no matter what side of the table on, there's always going to be a few reds.
That's right, and Raycole may be forced into taking this long pot on here. He is studying up the possibility. We've seen Raycole knock in a few crackers. Can he pull one off again? Wasn't too far away. And he's got away with it, I think. Ooh. No. Got a nice little bounce off the top cushion, the ball cushion. Now Derek, chance for him again. Shoot across the ball again. And wow. Now there's two reds tied up on the side cushion. Raycole might go for this pot here. Might be able to hold for the brown. Yeah, it's well played. He has come a little bit too far, but the brown is cuttable. The blue to the far corner. Not a likely option, but it is a possibility. Yep, so just the safety.
Played it way too fast there. He wanted to just slightly tap the green so the green would come off the cushion and line back tight onto the white, but now Derek's left with a bit of a tough pot, but definitely one that can be taken on. And the other two reds are tied up together, so he's not got too much to worry about if he misses this.
So now, Raycole can play the up and down safety again, but he will be taking the red ball up towards those other reds as well if he does wish to play the shot. See, I'm eyeing up here.
Yeah, definitely a tense frame here since the score gap between Raycole and Derek is like really small. We're about 5 points here if our scoring is correct, but you guys will see the proper score obviously. But I think definitely these last three reds are going to be a key because it's an opportunity for these players to get some extra colors while we're not, playing on the colors. As I say that, actually, the red's been tied up here at the top near the yellow, so definitely another key factor in this frame. But I think definitely this frame could go either way to either player.
Yeah, Raycole's just tried a really ambitious shot, going for the cushion first into the two reds that were tied up. It looked to be coming towards the corner pocket, but he missed by quite a bit. Now Derek gets an opportunity to lay a really nice tight snooker behind the black.
Yeah, and a tap on the table there from Raycole.
Doesn't matter because it's not a red.
Yep, so it is touching ball. And the rule that we have here is if you miss the red, it's not a foul and a miss. It's just a foul, and the opponent gets the points and gets ball in hand anywhere on the table.
It's just for the 6 red.
It's just for 6 reds. Sorry, that's my bad. That was actually just for the 6 reds.
So now the foul rule is just regular snooker foul rules, where when you foul, the cue ball remains where it is, and the opponent gets a choice between playing the shot and letting the person who fouled to take the shot from where it is. There's also the free ball rule, which is when after a foul, the white ball cannot be struck to both sides of any red, in which case the opponent can nominate a ball to shoot instead of a red, and it will act as a red in its place.
Raycole in all sorts of trouble here. You go around. Yeah, there's 2 cushions. I like this. This is a great escape.
It's a beautiful shot.
3 cushion escape. Judged to perfection there. Brilliant.
It's 24.
And a nice tap on the table from Derek there as well, just acknowledging the escape and the thought process behind it.
Oh, the pockets just rejected the red at the last second.
That was a very, very good effort from Derek.
I think Raycole's got a very nice opportunity to lay a returning snooker back to Derek, but it's going to take a lot of delicacy.
Yeah, that's right. You don't want to put too much pace on the cue ball and the object ball. You've got to judge it right. It's not easy. Wow. Can Derek see this red? play the double or shot to nothing. Now Raycole. A couple of choices he does have. He could play the pot, long pot, into the green corner. Or he could play another up and down shot, but there's not much gap there.
He's left on a fairly tough cutback shot into the side. But if Derek does get this, there is an opportunity to go into the yellow and the red.
Yeah, but as they say, you can never take your eye off the pot. In fact, he hasn't.
And he's gotten into the yellow and the red, but not the way he'd like to.
It's actually off both the draws, wasn't it? Yeah.
He's gone a bit heavy-handed there, and he's actually left Raycole an opportunity to shoot this red.
It requires a lot of delicacy. Raycole, as Victor just said, can play return snooker.
Wow, he's just landed on the red. It might be frozen, which might actually be a blessing for Derek, as he can just play completely opposite way away from the red.
Yeah, goodness me, is that touching? It's not touching. Shot. Is that touching ball?
It's a very nice shot if it's not touching. Raycole's actually very sandwiched between the yellow and the red. He's not got any options at all if he's not touching it. He's just going to have to tap the cue ball. And if they do manage to play this right, we might end up in a bit of a stalemate. So I think there is actually just a bit of space between the reds, so Raycole's just going to nudge it once again. There's actually a chance if Raycole plays this light enough that the red could roll back onto the white after they've touched.
Be careful with this.
Okay, so Raycole's opted to end the stalemate at a risk. He's put the frame in a bit into Derek's hands, but he'd rather have that than continue that stalemate.
It's not an easy cutback though with these tight pockets and the star tables. Needs to cue this well. And it was. It's well played. Now, I don't think he has travelled far enough to the black, but he can put this blue. Starting to possibly use the ball cushion as well, either to put it in the middle or to the yellow pocket. Yep, there's the ball cushion, and he's come up. Oh, just a bit short there.
He's not read the line quite right. I think he wanted to put that red into the same pocket, or maybe the opposite middle pocket, but now he's left almost touching the red. It's not got too many options.
Yeah, there's another close pot attempt, wasn't it? Yeah. No, Raycole. It's a clever shot there. Although now, not enough pace on the red. Now Derek can cut this back, hold for one of the bold colours, or come off the top cushion to hold for high value colours. Great chance this. Yeah, it was it's a delightful bounce off the bottom cushion. And does he have an angle to get around for the yellow at the top of the table? Yeah, always a difficult task this. Now he's brought the cue ball near to the yellow. Don't get me wrong, it's still a big task for Raycole to pot this, but at least he's gotten to where it is. Big chance for Raycole as well. Yeah, not easy to play at that pace. But he has gotten it safe. Played it as a two-way as well. Yellow just scraping past the middle pocket, or has it? Raycole can cut this back, I think, yeah. Now, the green. So after that yellow, Derek leads, but it's only a 1 point lead. Big frame this. Wow. That was extremely close.
I definitely feel that Raycole harmed his chances there with that pace. I think he was trying to go off the ball cushion, so then nice and close to the brown, but with the brown where it is, it's a pretty tough shot regardless of where the cube is on the table. So I feel like he should have, especially since he's down at the moment, I feel he should have secured that pot before thinking about the brown.
He's got another chance here. He maybe pot this green. And
Wow, what
goodness,
a shot.
What a pot that is. What a pot that is. I was thinking about the green cushion. He's possible to the pocket nearest the pink. That was a sensational shot.
So now Raycole's just 3 balls away from victory.
That's right. Now he has the lead as well. He has got to be careful here though. Raycole can see the finish line. He's not many pots away from securing the frame. And not the easiest of pots on the blue, but straight enough, I think. Raycole. Wow. Does he go all guns blazing here? Pot this blue to the corner pocket. Missed the ball some way. And he's gotten away with it, I think. Very, very tense frame this.
I feel like the shot to pot the blue and then on the pink is a bit too difficult. Derek might opt to play the safety, landing the cue ball behind the black. Yep, so he's played the blue back down the table and the cue ball is very nicely, just a bit off, but definitely with a bit more pace. That would have been a great safety behind black.
Yeah, but now he's left the blue over the corner pocket. Not an easy pot by any means, but a chance for Raycole. It's a great opportunity, again I say, but not an easy pot under the circumstances and the pressure. Oh, it's actually bounced out. And I think he's gotten away with it, has he? Oh. I mean, I think all bets are off as to what will happen next, but I think I have a feeling that if all things proceed as it is, it might end up being a black ball game.
Yeah, pink's definitely the crucial shot here. I don't think either of them are that worried with whoever pots the blue because the pink is just in such a difficult spot at the moment. I think at the moment both players are just looking for opportunities where they have a nice angle to both have a chance at the pot and also knock out the pink at the same time. Otherwise they'll probably just be playing safeties and trying to land behind that black.
Oh, that was a handy kiss. Raycole. There's a couple of options here.
Yeah, really tense final we have here, since the blue, pink, and black are all available, like as in they're all available for either Derek or Raycole to take this frame. So a nice little safety there from Raycole, but definitely this is, you'll see the most pressure will impact the most at this point in the frame, I think.
Yeah, the black's in a very key spot at the moment. I don't think the other player will want to move it at the moment because it's such a nice target to land behind for a snooker.
Oh, the DDK.
Derek's showed a hint of weakness there in that safety. And Raycole's actually got a very nice angle to just slag this down for the pink and have an opportunity to close out the frame and the match.
Yeah, the DDK, the dreaded double kiss, back into action again. Now Raycole needs the blue and the pink to secure the frame and have Derek needing snookers. Oh.
You can't play for snookers when it's just a black.
Unless you play red draw safety.
Yeah.
But like the frame, like the match is legitimately over once Raycole plays the pink. You can't play on.
That's well played. It's very well played from Derek, and now the momentum shifted. There's pressure on Raycole more so than before.
So now I think Derek's favourite to win this frame because even if Raycole does hit this blue, he has no idea where either ball is going to go, and the pink's now off its cushion, so it's very potable.
We've already seen one great escape by Raycole during this frame. Could we see another one?
There's also a chance that if Raycole hits on the left side of the blue as you see it, that he could land behind the black, but he's missed the blue ball entirely. He's not left the free ball though, and Derek's got quite a difficult pot, so it's not too bad for Raycole.
It's fine.
Always a difficult escape, that one.
So in the pro circuit, that miss by Raycole probably would have meant the end of the frame for him because Derek could have put him back for a miss, but here at CueSoc we don't play the miss rule because it's a bit too difficult for our skill level.
Not an easy cutback, but a cutback nonetheless, and maybe play with bottom right to get back up. Sorry, down for the pink. Always chosen to play safety shot. Now where's that blue going?
Knocking the black out is also pretty big for this frame because it means that Derek has an opportunity to clear up all three balls in one go. Raycole only needs the blue and the pink at the moment. Actually, either player only needs blue and pink at the moment, so... Whoa, what a close shot.
Oh my goodness, that was a very close attempt by Raycole. From my angle, I thought that was in, but goodness, it just shows you how tight these pockets are. And the difficulty of the table that they're playing on.
It looked a bit like a miscue there. I don't think he got enough pace onto the cue ball as he would have liked. And now Raycole has an opportunity to just float this cue ball behind the pink. Oh, but he's left the pot on for Derek now.
If Derek does take this on, which I doubt he will, it's a very difficult cut down the line and could rattle the jaws of the pocket.
He's tried to cut that two thing, and I think he actually hit the blue ball twice, once on the way in and once on the way out. But he's left a very difficult cut back, and Raycole's going to have to play this off the ball cushion to get back onto the pink. Went for the double there and he's gotten quite fortunate. Nice shot, but now Raycole's definitely got one of the easier attempts at the blue than he's gotten in the past.
Yeah. Play this with Thomas on top. It wasn't too far away, was it? And now, not an easy cutback, but a cutback nonetheless for Derek to the middle pocket. And he can once again use the ball cushion to come back down for the pink.
I feel like that was another sign of tension from Raycole. Definitely no need to play that blue as hard as he could. He overran the position for the pink, and a much softer shot would have given him a much better chance of giving a straight stroke to the ball.
And we're seeing what pressure does to people. Derek's missed the one to the middle pocket, and just out of tension, I think. Raycole, certainly an opportunity here to pot the blue, get back down for the pink. Where's the blue going? He's actually got away with it.
I think Derek will play the double here. It lands him quite nicely on the pink, and if he plays with enough pace, the blue will hopefully float back up to the ball cushion.
Oh, well. What did Raycole do here? Yep, there's the cutback. The blue is in. He's further away from the pink than he would have liked, but the blue's gone in, point secure.
Does he need the pink?
Yeah, that's the last ball.
The pink is effectively match ball. He's gotten away with that one as well.
I feel like definitely the better shot option here is just to play it safe. Derek tries to cut it thin. There's a chance he could leave it hanging over the pocket, and that would almost definitely mean end of frame and match for him. So yeah, he's just opted to play the pink back onto the cushion, but it's a very nice pace.
Where's that pink going? Well, what an opportunity now for Derek. He's been given a reprieve, and the pink is over the pocket, really. He can get back down for the black into the opposite middle pocket of the ball cushion.
That's a nice shot.
Has he got the pace? I don't think he has the pace. And now, as I predicted earlier, it is a black ball game. The points are tied, 42 points apiece.
I think he needs the rest for his cut down.
And you can see, you can't see it in the camera, but some of the spectators, such as the other commentator, Harris Dewanta, they got their fingers in their mouths. So nervous they are.
Very smart shot there. A little containing safety on the black. Again, the pressure's got to be at an all-time high at this point. In contrast to the other parts of the matches, we've had a pretty slow pace match so far, but definitely high tension here at City Heroes.
So Raycole's played that one nicely.
Derek's got an opportunity to have a shot at the double and also leave the cue ball safe. But there is a chance that he could rattle the black and it could land back into the middle of the table, so it's a 50-50 shot, I think.
Yeah, he's got to play with some safety in mind, I think. Or is he going all guns blazing?
And he's hitting that way too thick, and now Raycole's got a fairly nice opportunity to cut this into the middle.
Now, chance for Raycole to put the black, finish the frame.
Oh!
Can you believe it? Unbelievable scenes here at City Heroes. You look for all the money in the world to have gone in, but the pocket had other ideas. And just to rub some salt in the wound, Derek plays a terrific safety shot. He must have thought he was out of the competition.
I think Raycole has an opportunity to go to the pot there. There's actually quite a bit of distance between the black ball and the cushion. But he's just going to play safe. There's a bit too much hanging on this black ball, so I feel like given the option to have a small percentage pot or a safety, they'll always take the safe at the moment.
And actually a long pot available for Derek. It's very, very difficult under these circumstances and with this pressure.
Oh,
Has
no
he
way.
fluked the black?
Oh, wow.
Can you believe it? And now it's Raycole's turn to eye up a potential long pot.
I actually saw our races coming,
Raycole knows that one good shot will win his first ever CueSoc final.
Raycole has to try hammer this in though. He can't afford to play it slow.
Big shot this.
Where are these balls hanging up? They look to be tying each other up very nicely.
And well, could anyone have predicted this outcome with the balls? But
you can't do that.
goodness me,
Don't do that.
the scenes here, unbelievable. Well, the best of safeties from Derek. He has left Raycole another pot. This time, can Raycole knock this in and secure the competition? There it is! And congratulations to Raycole Dai winning his first CueSoc event after all these years.
Mr. President, do you have any words? Do you have any words for your fans, Mr. President?
I played Derek. Derek played extremely well. It was a close frame. First frame, I reckon I got a bit lucky, but very well played to Derek.
Well, that black, just the middle pocket, you must have thought that was going to go in. What were your thoughts after having missed the middle black?
Honestly, you never think that the shot will lose you the frame, but it was pretty close to doing so. Probably should have got that one in, but luckily enough, got another chance. And yeah.
Well, regardless, you're still our champion. Thank you very much, Raycole. Well played.
Thanks everyone for watching. Definitely, actually a really exhilarating final there. Down to the wire, down to the last ball as well. Well done to Raycole. He came through. He defied the meme, and he finally has a singles title for himself. Really well done by Derek as well there. Played really well in the final, and also well done for getting to the finals as well. Both players did exceptionally well today. Thanks everyone for watching. As always, City Heroes, Mikarin, ARC, our sponsors. I think the next competition actually is going to be Scotch Doubles. Should be, let's check the date here. I think 26th of October, not too far away. So I'll definitely see you guys there. But yeah, thanks for watching. A long match, but definitely, I'd say it got way more interesting to the end there, and definitely a nice way to end it as well. That was very entertaining to watch, I want to say. Thanks everyone for watching. See ya.